Good afternoon. My name is Russell Lookadoo, and I'm the HR guy for small business. I'm the president and chief strategist for H Architecture, a firm that exists to help business owners achieve their dreams through effective use of their teams. Today, I'd like to tell you a story about what I call a culture vulture. The client observed another manager in his company berating and profanely coaching one of the employees, and basically just disrespected them and made them feel uncomfortable. And the owner was just shaking his head because he thought he had implemented a culture of respect and positive management. Well, it turns out that the culture he thought he had established in his company was just him. He didn't have it written down, and he hadn't trained and emphasized the cultural aspects of how he wanted his company run. So how do you do that? Well, I like to do a 3-step process of documenting and implementing a culture in a company. The first thing you do is you start with a why statement. Why does my company exist? Your company exists to do this, so that. You follow that up with a how statement. The how statement is basically a statement that takes your values, typically things like integrity, honesty, innovativeness, creativity, or teamwork. You convert those words, those nouns, to verbs, and then you take the verbs and you write a description of what it means and what it looks like to live by those values. You end up with a how statement. The third thing is a what statement. The how, followed by the what, tells you what your company delivers to your clients or customers, either products or services, in the manner and location you do that. So that 3-part why, how, and what statement are crucial. Now, of course, this comes from the teaching of Simon Sinek in the Golden Circle. But implementing it to define your culture is something that small business owners need to do. Once you create those statements, and it is important to write these down. There's an old saying that if it isn't written, it didn't happen. So you write these down and then you infuse them into your human resources processes, questions in your hiring process, information you put in your advertisements. Then you look at your training programs in terms of your performance management, setting your expectations and standards. Then you use those in your progressive disciplinary or corrective policies. And if necessary, you terminate based on inability to function how you want people to function, as well as what they deliver. A culture vulture or vampire is a person who performs, but they do it in a manner that nobody wants to work around them. Most business owners don't want that culture in their business, but if they don't define it, they get a culture that they don't intend. The culture may be counter to your culture, or it may be a subculture within your culture, which is why constant reinforcement and training is extremely vital to making sure your culture is the one you want. The founder's values or the owner's values need to be instituted into the company so that when they transition the business to other owners or the next generation, their legacy includes how to act, not just what to do. In the case I mentioned before, the client did engage me to work with him to develop training programs, policies, procedures, and take a look at his overall processes to make sure that his supervisors and managers were ambassadors of his culture and not counterculture. A good success story, and something that I love to work with my clients to do. What is your culture? Do you have it defined? How can we implement that? In doing that, we make sure that the employees of your company are assets, not liabilities, and you're able to achieve your dreams. This is Russell Lookadoo, the HR guy for small business, and have a great day.